Welcome back to the channel, guys. Owner Arna is here. Today, we're going to talk about why 90% of people who try IG automation absolutely fail, even if they have hundreds of thousands of followers, by the way. And I'll talk about how to avoid the biggest mistakes I see. Okay. So first of all, who am I? My name is Owner Arnas. Okay. You can check me out here on Instagram. I'm sharing some free game as well, best niches, stuff like that. I've been running Passionate Income and multiple Instagram faceless pages for over 4 years now. And Passionate Income is one of my biggest brands. We have 75,000 email subscribers. It's an actual brand. And, a lot of people try to do this, but they can't figure it out. They make a bunch of mistakes and, they see this and they're like, oh, but you only have 1 million followers. Like, I can figure out how to grow 1 million followers. But then, like, nothing happens. They don't make money and they're like, okay, like, I'll take it as a loss. So I'm going to talk about like how to avoid that. Okay. And what main mistakes I see, because I've been coaching people on how to do the same thing for around 2 years now. Okay. And while coaching people, I had very interesting interactions. I met a lot of interesting people with their worldviews, which I probably didn't agree with. And, I taught 100+ people on how to make this work for them. And I actually like helped them to achieve it, right? So, first thing, like the biggest mistake I see is a lot of people can figure out how to grow on Instagram, right? How to go viral, how to get a following. Like, that's probably the easiest part. But then they have no idea about monetization. Like, they have zero business skills. And that was me, by the way. I've been running this brand for 4 years. I'd say the first year, I knew almost nothing about monetization. Like, certainly the first 8 months or so, like, I was kind of lost and just doing what I thought would work, but it didn't really work, if that makes sense. Obviously, like, from that time, I learned so much about business, and I work with so many different mentors and read so many books and learned about business over and over again. So now I know how to monetize and I have a great idea, but most people have no idea. Okay. Most people think that followers equal money. So they think, okay, if Arnes is making 30K a month with his page at 1 million followers, if I can just get to 1 million followers, like, I'll make 30K, which is absolutely not true. Okay. I have so many people reaching out to me on Instagram being like, like, I don't really need your help, but like, I'm an IG expert. Here are my pages, and they have like 1 million followers. And I'm like, man, you're probably crushing with it. Like, your page is great. You're probably making like 50 grand a month with all those pages, no? They're like, no, I'm making just like 2K. And it's about what you don't know about monetization that's stopping you from getting to that next level. It's not about like the followers alone. Followers are great. Followers are an asset that if you know how to treat them, you'll make insane amounts of money. But if you have like no idea, like, there are plenty of broke influencers. Like, there was an article where like, this influencer with 1 million followers or whatever couldn't sell like 7 t-shirts. Okay. So, like, if you don't know what to do with your followers, you're just gonna be broke. And on average, 1 million follower influencer is making $7,000 a month. How effed up is that? Huh? That's like terrible to think about. Like, with 1 million followers, you should be printing like 20, 30 grand a month easy if you just have any idea of what business is. Okay. But most people treat this as like, oh, like, I'll get the followers and I'll figure out the monetization later, which never happens. They never figure it out. Okay. And I'll talk about it. My next point is fear of investing, fear of investing and learning how to do it. So they're like, well, if Arnas figured it out, and he has 1 million followers and he figured out how to make like 30 grand a month with the page, then I can probably figure it out. Right. But like, they don't know that I invested like tens of thousands of dollars into mentorship and like working with different agencies, stuff like that, like invested, over $100,000 to learn about email newsletters. They have no idea about that. They just assume like, oh, he figured it out on his own. But a lot of people, when they start a business like that and they don't have the right mindset, they hold on to the money, right? So I had a very interesting call yesterday with a gentleman from India, and he was holding on to the money like crazy. He has a great page, great offer. The page was awesome. I knew how pretty much he could scale his business like 5x over the next 3 months easily. He was doing so many mistakes. And I was like, okay, like I can help you. This is what's it gonna cost, but like I can guarantee the results. And if not, like we'll keep on working together until you actually like get this result. And he got so scared, he just like left the call. He left the Zoom call because he was holding on to his money so like hard. Okay. And what do the biggest businesses in the world do, which grow insanely quick? They reinvest the money. Okay. So scarcity of the money is really bad for your business because you can have 1 million followers, you can have 2 million followers, you can have 5 million followers. And I have people reaching out to me every single day, like with a theme page. I had like this guy, Tori, I think his name is, reach out to me on like Telegram because we were like in the same group chat. He's like, yo, man, like, how much money are you making? And he has a bigger page than me. And I told him more about it, like about the promos and about the newsletter. He's like, whoa, that's insane. Like, I never made that amount of money. Like, I'd love to learn from you. And I was like, cool, like, you should invest in learning about this. And then, like, most 90% of the people will be like, no, they'll shut off. They're like, oh no, like investing in my knowledge, not worth it. Like, I'll figure it out on my own. When in reality, you'll never figure it out. Like, you'll never figure it out until you actually like take the actual step and start learning, putting effort into your knowledge, right? Because just having 1 million followers or 2 million followers won't make you money. It's what you do with those followers. So the biggest, businesses in the world, they reinvest the money, right? The one of the most profitable companies in the world, Visa and MasterCard, I think their profit margin is like 51% or so. Okay, so half of the money they make, they reinvest into the business, and that's one of the biggest company. No, that's the biggest profitable company in the world, right? And think about Visa, right? They get a cut every time you use a credit card, so they don't really have that many expenses, right? They just reinvest the money for growth. They reinvest, 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 and that's how businesses grow, right? So you shouldn't hold on to the money. Don't claim it as like when you make money in your business, just think about it as like woo-woo money. It's like it's not yours yet. Don't claim it as your personal money yet. Reinvest the money and let it compound, let it grow. Whatever you need to reinvest in. Maybe it's ads, maybe it's tools, maybe it's hiring an agency, maybe it's getting a consultant, maybe it's enrolling into a mentorship or a mastermind, whatever you need to do. Just figure it out how to use that money and all those resources you made and reinvest those, okay? So don't hold on to the money. Like it will never help you in any aspect, okay? Obviously, like don't blow the money on stupid stuff. Like don't go to a club and spend like 50 grand that you made in a year and be like, yo, like abundance mindset. Don't do that, but obviously invest into stuff that will help to grow your business. Another thing I see common mistake why a lot of people fail is know-it-all mentality. Like the fact is, like I had a message actually this morning from this gentleman from Italy, okay? And like I messaged him and he was like, will you treat me as your standard lead or like are you gonna actually have like a normal conversation with me because like I'm an Instagram expert? I was like, what the hell is this dude talking about? I was like what do you mean treat you as a normal lead? Like, I just literally message you like because you followed me and you say you have like an Instagram page and just wanted to connect. And he was like, yeah, I'm not interested in any of your like stuff, but I run like these pages and I'm an expert in Instagram automation and Instagram pages. I was like, cool, what pages do you run? And he had phenomenal pages, and I was like, you must make like good money with it. He was like, no, I'm not, but like I'm an IG expert. So like you're not making the money you want to make and you're calling yourself an expert. Like that's pretty funny to me. You just have this like know-it-all mentality, but in fact you don't know what you don't know. Like you have no idea. You just hear me in a video say like, oh, like email newsletter, and you're like, well, yeah, I'll start an email newsletter and I'll make it. Like, no, bro, like there's so much more into that. Like just saying I'll start an email list and monetize with Beehive or whatever. Like that's not all of it, that's like just the surface level of it. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Like there's so much more in this whole industry that you can't even imagine. Like you don't know what you don't know. It's literally like, imagine an iceberg. Everything you know is just the top, but the whole bottom, the big part, you just don't know it even exists, okay? And you're saying I'm an expert at the top of the iceberg, but in reality, like, you don't know 90% of the stuff. And I don't claim that I know it all. I just am happy with my results, right? And I know I can help others to reach them. That's why I'm like, hey, like, if you're making like 2 grand with your, million follower network, you're making 2 grand a month, like something's off. I can definitely help you with that because I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing. Um, Also, like, I see a lot of people have lack of proven systems and proven strategy. So again, like I talked to the same Italian guy, and he's like, "Well, I'll launch an ebook for $25 and then upsell them to like an agency service." And I was like this is not gonna work immediately. Like I knew it's not gonna work, and I told him, and he's like, "Why?" But it's like the same niche. Like, no, bro, it's not gonna. It doesn't work like that. Like you don't even have like a proven proof of concept, right? You don't have proof of concept at all, and you're expecting to scale a business just because like you saw a few YouTube videos. Oh, sell an ebook, upload agency service, whatever. You're like, oh yeah, that will work. You have no idea. Like obviously test it out, but I know immediately like it won't work. Um, so yeah, just find the proof of concept, obviously, and then scale that rather than like going all in into one business model, one strategy, which will never work for you. Like find proof of concept first. Um, Another thing, I mean, it makes sense. Maybe I kind of mentioned it, but a lot of people don't treat this as an actual business. Like they just think, oh, this is like a side hustle or whatever. I'm trying out, I'm testing out, and if you treat it as a side hustle, as a small business, as a thing over there you do on the side, it will always be a thing there that you're doing it on the side. It will never become something big because you're not putting in enough effort. You're not treating it as a real business for it to become a real business. Like obviously when you start off, you don't need to go all in, but even if you spend 2 hours a day on this, like cool, just treat it as a real business. Like take it seriously. Don't like just give it a shot. Like actually go all in and make it work. Like whenever I focus on something, right, whatever it is, it could be in my personal life, it could be in the business. When I set my mind to something, I'm just like, I'm gonna figure it out. I don't care how long it will take. Like I just want to figure this out. I want to make this happen, and I'm gonna make this happen, right? And I was like this since the day I can remember, right? So from a business, like a personal example, right? I told myself, look, I'll do whatever I need to do to just learn to speak Spanish fluently, you know? And that's it. Like I told that myself, and I've been learning every single week. I didn't miss a single week. I've been learning every single week, probably for like 3.5 months now, right? And I'm gonna figure this out. I'm not gonna stop until I figure it out. And that's how you want to be in business as well, okay? When you treat your Instagram automation page as a business, you're gonna figure it out. You're not just giving it a shot. The same thing with my business. Like right now, I told myself I'll do everything needed to figure out how to do Facebook ads, how to do paid advertisement. I mean, I've done it for my newsletter, right? But now I want to do like a different strategy with like low ticket product to attract better leads, stuff like that. We can get into it another video. But I just told myself, like, I don't care how much this is going to cost. I don't care how much my effort this is going to cost, like how much time it will take. I'll just figure this out because I want to build an incredible newsletter. I want to keep growing it, right? So for that, I need to apply new strategies that I've never done. I need to work with people that I never worked with. I need to invest the amount of money that I never invested in. To reach new heights and to reach what you want to do, you need to do something that you never done before. Because if you just do what's comfortable for you, you'll stay in your little comfortable bubble and not see any changes in your results. And the last part is why a lot of people fail is comparing themselves to others. Okay, you see a different page, you see something like puberty, and they have tens of millions of followers, and you're like, oh my god, like I'm so far from them. But you forget that people like that have been in the industry for like 10 years now. So like, why are you comparing someone who's been in the industry for 10 years and kind of like being like, oh, I wish I could be in that position. Like, put in 10 years first and then look back. Like, are you closer or far from it? So just focus on your own progress, focus on being better every single day by day, 1% better every single day. So yeah, how to avoid every mistake? Like, lean into monetization first and not just like how to grow a following. Obviously, following is super important. Without a following, this won't work. But like, instead of just thinking like, okay, I'll figure out how to grow a follower base and then like I'll figure out how to monetize later. Or like even worse would be like, I'll grow a following list and then the money will come naturally. Like, learn how to monetize effectively, invest in your growth, like whatever it is. Maybe you hire an agency, mentorship, consulting, run ads, buy tools, whatever. But like, keep the money moving, keep it circulating. Okay, that's number two. Stay humble and keep learning. I don't know everything. I just know how that I can help you to get to like 30K a month with pages. But I can't really help you to get to 1 million a month. Like, I don't know that. And I know that I don't know that. So pretty much, yeah. And then stick to proven strategies and commit to this long term. Treat it as a business, all right? This is it for today's video, guys. If you liked the video, leave a like on it, leave a comment, and follow me on Instagram at Owner Arnas. If you want my help with growing your Instagram automation business, give me the word coach on Instagram at Owner Arnas, and I'll see if I can help. Cheers.